Drafting with Numot. Here we are, friends, another edition of Drafting with Kenji, Numot, the Nummy. That's me. We got a Ravnica Allegiance, another competitive single elimination draft, so let's hope we can at least win a few matches here, because if we lose the first round, we are out. Our rare, not very good. Possibly has some constructed applications, more so than in Commander, I would say, than anything else, is emergency powers. Cards I'm looking at here are the Collision Colossus, just a very, very good combat trick and removal spell in Gruul. Depose Deploy, great card in Azorius. Dovin's Acuity, another fine one, especially if you first pick it and you can kind of build around it. Then we have 2 Gates and an Ill-Gotten Inheritance. I think I lean towards the Deploy. I've been very impressed with this card, but I could certainly see taking the Collision Colossus as it is one of the best tricks in the format. But I've been liking blue-white a lot, or just some form of Esper, and so I'm going to take the Deploy here and see what we get past after that. And oh baby, do we got a good one. So the rare is missing out of this pack, or Mythic, whatever it was, but this is one of the best uncommons in the format. Senate Guildmage, certainly the best Guildmage by far. Just so cheap to activate, and both abilities very, very relevant. Otherwise, we have an Azorius Guildgate here, Final Payment, a Sorrowform Hybrid, and maybe say a Pontiff, but Senate Guildmage is just the perfect pickup after the Deploy. And then we have this pack, which doesn't have any red or white, blue or white cards that we are particularly interested in. In fact, this pack overall is just quite poor. Mirror March is a fun card, but it's not a good card. Oftentimes it just does nothing, or so little that it's not worth the 6-mana enchantment, especially since it doesn't do anything the turn you cast it, for the most part. Yeah, this pack is just poor. I think I'll just take the blue card, trying to cut it off. Thought Collapse is a fine one. I'm not super interested in taking it third pick here, but because the rest of the pack is so weak, I think it's fine to do. Sends a better signal that way anyways. Still a good start to a draft. Like, these 2 uncommons make up for it for sure. Alright, and that's a little bit better now. We have a Swirling Torrent, a Final Payment, Open the Gates, Rendhorn, Savage Smash, Guildgate. I've been having some fun with Goblin Gathering decks as well. You pick up like 4 or more Goblin Gatherings as you get them pretty late, and then just pick up like a Cavalcade of Calamity, or even a Burn Bright, and you can just get opponents out of nowhere. I think here I'm going to go with the Swirling Torrent though. It is a little bit expensive, but I found this card to be quite good overall. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't do enough if you're super far behind, but if you're at parity or, say, even a little bit ahead, it just completely wrecks the opponent a lot of the time. Wow, that's a pretty late Skatewing Spy. It's not at its best in an Azorius deck. I think it's best in Simic, of course, but it is still just a very, very good uncommon. And I think it's going to be the pick here over the Guildgate. Also a Get the Point in the pack, but I think these cards are pretty comparable in power level, so let's take the Spy there. And another pretty strong pack here for us, where I'm just going to take the Summary Judgment. We already have the combo with it as well. We have the Depose if we want to, tap a creature, and then we can Summary Judgment it. Otherwise, Skitter Eel's a strong pick. I do like Inheritance, and then a Simic Guildgate, but this is just an easy removal spell, I think. Okay, I'm going to take the Locket here over Homunculus or Arrestor Zeal. I think Arrestor Zeal is pretty strong as far as combat tricks are concerned. And as far as Homunculus, normally you're going to leave this to the sideboard unless you're specifically trying to go for the high alert deck, or maybe just a little bit more control-y. I've actually liked Lockets a lot in this format, and this one's on color, so we'll go ahead and take it. The second Swirling Torrent is probably a little bit too much. I think having the first one's great. I think the second one is quite diminishing returns. Here we have the Sage's Row Savant, the Shimmer of Possibility, and the Guildgate. I don't mind the 2-drop. I just don't think it's very powerful, but both of these cards serve a similar effect, and I think the Savant is probably just fine. Another Azorius Locket here. Unlikely to play 2, and I don't think I'm playing the Justicier's Portal, so we'll take the Gateway Plaza here just in case we do end up splashing. Nice, got the Azorius Guildgate on the wheel. It's relevant just to pick up Guildgates in this format anyways, beyond just fixing for your 2 colors. Things like Gateway, or not Gateway Plaza, Gateway Colossus, you know, could really benefit from having those lands. Plus, it lets you just splash easier. Not much here. Take the rare. Do a little rare drafting business. Okay, sideboard. I mean, I suppose we could still be Bant as well. If I pick up like a Sharkdo Crab or something, then I'll have a reason to play a green card. Which is why I was a little bit upset that I passed so many of those Simic Guild Gates in the first pack. Again, I'm not going to run any of these cards, and if I do, I'm not happy about it. Scuttlegator does have possibility, potential, but again, probably going to relegate that for the sideboard. Alright, so a pretty good pack overall. First picked the Deploy, and then got past a Senate Guild Mage. Picked up some other good blue and white cards. Ooh, speaking of good and blue white cards, this is a very good pack. We have Precognitive Perception as our rare, which I think is going to be the Slam Bam. Angelic Exaltation is actually a pretty powerful enchantment. Can just get in for a lot of damage, makes a single flyer relevant. Terramander, obviously very good. Arrester's Admonition, Skitter Eel, and an Orzhov Guildgate. So, the best cards in this pack are all blue and white. There's a Frilled Mystic, of course, but we got some good choices, and I think the Perception is just way too good. Whew, speaking of way too good, how about a second pick? Sphinx of Foresight. Alright, 4/4 flyer, and if it's in your opening hand, you can scry 3 at the beginning. Jeez, that is gross. Our deck is turning out insane now. And you know what? We probably wheel something out of this pack. Sentinel's Mark, Sphinx's Insight, and Senate Griffin would be the ideal wheels, but could wheel one of those other white cards as well. Good pickup. Unlike our last few picks, this is not an Azorius rare that you want to pick up. It just doesn't do anything. It's a 2/2 for 2, so we'll take the Law Mage's Binding here. Good removal spell. And, yeah, passing Impassion, Skitter, Shimmer, and even the Prying Eyes, but we have some decent card draw already, and this is good removal. Okay. Best card here in this pack is probably the Hackrobat, and then Grasping Thrall to follow up. I can consider taking the Grasping Thrall and maybe splashing it light black. Otherwise, I have the option of the Impassioned and the Quench. I mean, I don't think these cards are like particularly great. I think Quench is probably worse than the Orator here, but I'm wondering if I should take the Grasping Thrall and potentially consider splashing. I'll take the on-color card for now, but if we get past any more good black cards, it might be worth considering. Okay, Bring to Trial, Exposed to Daylight, and a Quench here. I'm going to take the Exposed to Daylight for sideboard purposes. Just way too many good enchantments and artifacts in this format that you want to deal with. You know, it can deal with like Rhythm of the Wild, it can deal with Ethereal Absolution, it can just hit random lockets, stuff like that. So happy to have that in my board. Some more fine cards here. Applied Biomancy, the best. Don't think we're playing the Civic Stalwart, the Rally for Battle, or the Prowling Caracal. We're going to take the Shimmer here just to dig for our more important cards. Okay, another really solid pack. Wow. Code of Constraint, Slimebind, and a Summary Judgment. I think I like the Summary Judgment a little bit more than these other removal spells, but I would play all 3 of those cards for sure. Great wheels. Or actually, those aren't even wheels. Great. What pick is this? That was great. 8th pick? Oh, 7th pick even. Okay, let's just take the dog here. This good boy can protect some of our more relevant creatures. And now we'll get our opening pack back. So we were hoping to wheel, what, the Senate Griffin or... there was something else, a white card, I believe. But more than likely we're going to get like the Civic Stalwart or the Prowling Caracal or the, I think, Twilight Panther. None of which we'd be happy to play. In fact, we'd probably just move them to the sideboard. We'll see, though. I'm right now lacking in creatures, but our removal is pretty good, right? We have Bounce, Lockdown, Counter, 2 Summary Judgments. So yeah, could just use a few more flyers like that Senate Griffin that I'm hoping to wheel. Alright, well here's that pack back, and we actually got the Skitter Eel back, which was one of the better cards we could have wheeled, honestly. I mean, it's just a solid 4-mana 3/3. Turns into a 5/5. Also, Frilled Mystic wheeling is kind of interesting, but again, happy to take the Skitter Eel here. And we wheeled the Senate Griffin. Okay, so I guess it was in that pack that the Senate Griffin was in. Wow. I am very pleased. But I think we've navigated this draft pretty well. I mean, obviously we got a little bit lucky taking the excuse me, the blue-white card off the bat. Taking another blue-white card and then having it be open, but we're just being paid in dividends now. As I guess I'll take the first Prying Eyes over the second Shimmer. And just some last pick filler cards, no big deal. Wow, yeah, Simic's open too. Kind of crazy. We'll take the Guildgate. So, what am I missing now? A few more flyers would be fine. But, oh my gosh, a double Sphinx of Foresight? That's crazy. This pack is also just very good. Sphinx, Acuity, Ministrant's a great uncommon 3-drop Sphinx. Aeromunculus, Duelist, Grasping Thrall, Inheritance, Land, Griffin, Courier, Scorch. Wow. I mean, how do you go wrong with double Sphinx of Foresight? I don't think you can't. Or I don't think you can, rather. Just way too good. There's a Night Arbiter, too. That's one of the cards that we were looking for as well. Small consideration for Final Payment or Orzhov Guildgate, but this is a card that just beats in. Have a lot of 4-drops at the moment. Although I do like the Syndicate Messenger quite a bit. I'm almost wondering if I should just take the Guildgate, though. I think that's probably slightly better. Not really any consideration for me for the 10th district, so let's just take the Fixing. Yeah, blue-white flyers. Always has been and always will be a thing. Ten creatures, 11 if you count the deploy. Good card draw. Kind of just surprised we have the double Sphinx. Okay, what does this pick have for us? Sentinel's Mark, Sage's Row Savant, and a Vizkopa Vampire. I do like the Sentinel's Mark. I think it's a better card than the other cards I named, but I almost wonder if I just want the 2-drop again here. And I guess I don't have any creature to play on turn 3, so maybe Vizkopa is also fine. I found that this card can overperform a lot of the time, although obviously versus some decks you wish it was anything else. It's going to be one of the creatures here, I think. I suppose I'll just go with the Vampire for now. Woo! Here we go. Skyguard, Arbiter, Senate Griffin. Let's take that Skyguard. Card is also very, very good. Slow, but man, can it just take over games. Alright, we have a bounce spell here versus the Senate Courier. I think I like taking the Courier. This card also does a lot of work, overperforms, blocks a lot of the creatures early. And while the bounce is good, I think I'm okay taking the Courier. Okay, another... Wow, that's a super late Gatebreaker Ram too. Benthic Biomancer, Slimebind, and Arrestor Zeal. I mean, the Benthic Biomancer is a fine rare. This honestly feels like it could be an uncommon. Doesn't really do too much. Is it better than one of the cards in my deck, though? Probably. Just like Slimebind is probably better than one of the cards in my deck. In fact, I almost wonder if I can cut the Prying Eyes at this point. With so much scry. Cut the Prying Eyes and just run the Biomancer. Okay, I got a Code of Constraint too, which I think is pretty good. I don't know if I can find a home for it. We wheel all of these cards as well. I'm actually really happy that we got the Duelist back. I always want to have one of these in my blue decks. And I think this was like the first one that we saw, so happy to have it wheel. Okay, last few picks are irrelevant here. Very good deck, though. I think now I can probably cut the Vizkopa since I found a few other early plays in the form of the Biomancer and the Duelist. I'm wondering if I can get this Code of Constraint in, but I don't think we need it. Yeah, good deck, certainly. I mean, power level very, very high. Good fixing, good creatures, good removal. This is a deck that I would expect to 3-0. Now, obviously, variance plays into some parts of it and pilot skill, but just looking at it, I think this is probably like an 8 out of 10. Maybe even a 9. I think it's just missing maybe a few more hard removal spells like the Binding, because Judgment is a little bit prohibitive, but for the most part, this is very good. All right, so let's just add the double Guildgate. And looks like we have a lot more blue than white, so we can probably go boop, 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 boop. 8-7. We still want white early, though. Although it's possible I could go 9-6, and that would give me 11 blue sources and 8 white. I think I'm going to play it safe, though. And we have enough card draw and Locket that I don't think running it like this. Like, we're still having 10 land blue sources for the Double Sphinx's Foresight. So that should be good. All right, let's go to round 1 with our crazy Azorius deck. Here's round 1 of this triple Ravnica Allegiance draft. Single elimination competitive queue. We have won the die roll, and we are going to play first, and our hand is absolutely wonderful. Good curve, good creatures. We even have the Scry 3 at the beginning of the game. So let's Scry 3. And I think we are going to, let's see. Yeah, let's bottom the Senate Griffin, bottom the Thought Collapse, and I think we just top the other Sphinx of Foresight. We have the Benthic Biomancer and the Sage's Road Savant to help dig us into more lands, so that shouldn't be an issue. And let's just attack for 1 here, and then Sage's Row. Dig for some more lands. Oh, we did not find any, so this is a double bottom. Okay. Esper from the opponent. Sage's Row Savant of their own. It's a lot of non-land that we just scryed to the bottom. They put 2 cards on top. Okay, we did find a land, thankfully. And I think we're going to play the dog out and attack with both here. I'm going to discard the Skatewing. This is fine. We don't mind this trade. We don't mind the other trade either, honestly. I still want to get the loot. Okay, I'm still going to discard the Skatewing here. Now I need to draw an island. Although, if I don't draw an island next turn at the very least, I can still, darn it, I can still have a good play of, when I do draw an island, I can hold up the Resolute Watchdog for our Sphinx. Yikes. Remember that time I put 7 plains and 8 islands in the deck? We still have 2 Azorius Guildgates too. And now they have double blue open for counters. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's go to combat. Five cards in the opponent's hand. I think I'm going to pass here. And just Judgment their Guild Mage at end of turn. Because this is also a threat that they, or rather a creature that they want to protect should they have a counter. Or at least I feel that way. Maybe they just have a bounce spell. What is this? I don't know. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Okay, and they're not holding counter open anymore. Nice. Now we just get to jam a Sphinx. And pass the turn. Holding up dog for our Sphinx is nice. Is this a final payment? What is going on here? Opponent, you need to tap a white for final payment. They 100% have final payment in their hand. They're just tapping blue instead of white. I don't know what's going on here. You could see that the 5 life was trying to be paid. Very confused. Oh, this is not a final payment. Is this another Grasping Thrall, perhaps? 5 mana now. I don't know what's going on. All right. Well, they have 5 cards in their hand. One of them is a final payment. That's all we know. Blade Juggler for the full cost. That's fine. So we do get to bash in here for at least 4 with this first Sphinx, and we're going to bottom that Impassioned. Attack for 4. Play out another Sphinx and our land. We're just going to permanently hold up the Resolute Watchdog ability for our Sphinx now. Our Sphinges, as the cool kids say. Opponent has a high quality deck too, from what I've seen though. Right? Guildmage, Juggler, Thrall, Final Payment. Maybe a Law Mage's Binding here on one of my Sphinx. Nope, just a Locket. Alright, so they are holding up Final Payment. So what I would guess is that they're going to block one and then sack their Thrall to try to kill the other. And we're just looking for action, so we're just going to bottom all lands. Shimmer's good enough to keep. Let's cast that before attacking, get a little more information. And we'll take the Duelist. And I think it's actually correct to attack with the Sage's Row Savant this turn. The reason being is I don't think the Grasping Thrall is going to block it. And if it does, then they're going to take 8 and go down to 4. So we pass priority here. They're going to Final Judgment their Grasping Thrall. The question is, do I want to play around Wrath? And if I want to play around Kaya's Wrath, which opponent is playing those colors, I would just let this resolve. But given the fact that this is game 1, we haven't seen that from the opponent, I think we'll make that play. But I'm just going to hold these other creatures. Okay, Mortify for 1. I was going to get it regardless. Two cards left in their hand. They might just pass and sack their Locket, though. White, black. They have another Final Payment. Pitiless Pontiff. Okay, that's okay. I'm actually a little bit surprised they didn't... They didn't sack for Locket here. Oh, they do have a Final Payment. Gotcha, and they're going to sack their Pontiff. Okay, so they have a clear hand now. We're going to flash in the Duelist end of turn, just to start beating in again. And that was a pretty good draw as well. Put them on a 2-turn air clock. Them being Hellbent. Here comes the Locket sack. Yep. 2 cards left. No plays. Let's attack for 4. And we'll go ahead and run out the Guild Mage holding the land so that we can loot. Consume. Alright, that's going to kill my Skyguard, and they gain 3, go back up to 6. 1 card in hand. I could just put them on a 2-turn clock and attack with the Guild Mage. I'll probably do that if I draw something relevant. If I had drawn a land there, I think I loot it away. But given that they're living off the top of their library, I'm just going to go for the 2-turn clock. It looks like the opponent conceded. Alright, so they are on a pretty good black-white deck, but looks like they might not have had enough playables. Sage's Row, Savant making their deck. Sended Guildmage very good, but I imagine they're going to have quite a few other blue cards than these two. Wouldn't be surprised if opponent was in our draft and I was just eating up most of the blue-white cards. Okay, so how can we beat their deck? Well, Exposed to Daylight is probably a safe inclusion. We know it at least hits the Locket. I wouldn't be surprised if they have an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, or, and God forbid, they have, you know, Ethereal Absolution, that type of thing. So let's just bring this in. I think versus them, the Impassioned is probably not as necessary as our 2-drop. In fact, we don't even need it as much. And we can submit the deck like this. Go to a game 2. Up a game. They do have a lot of removal, but I have ways to combat that. We are on the draw, and yeah, this is, I mean, good mana, but 6 land and a Thought Collapse is not a keep in my books. This is a very easy keep, and we do have a Sphinx in it, so we do get to make that opening play of Reveal my Sphinx and get to scry 3 on my first turn. Whoa, alright, we're going to bottom 1. I think I'm actually going to bottom 2 and top the 3rd. Because now we have Sage's Row Savant next turn, which, I mean, presumably is going to scry us into some land as well. Oh, there's a second one again. Yeah, we can double top. Draw the Benthic next turn. Seems good. Orzhov Enforcer, okay. Go ahead and offer the trade here. They very quickly took it. Play out our Benthic. Probably just going to loot away this Summary Judgment. We just need to get to 4 mana, and we know there's a Plains on top of our deck. Okay, Syndicate Messenger. So at this point, I'm going to assume they don't run Counter Magic in their deck. But not that it matters anyway, they're tapped out this turn. But we do know they have a lot of removal, so I'm not expecting this first Sphinx to live beyond the turn, unless we're very lucky. They could have Arrestor Zeal, they could have Bladebrand, they could have a few things, I suppose. We'll go ahead and just take the 2. They might not have anything, but they might have just baited me. That's okay, though. Rather play it safe than sorry. I think Duelist is going to be good at some point, so let's keep that on top. And then we're going to attack for 6 here. I imagine Juggler trades for Benthic. They take 4. And what's better than 1? Well, why not 2 Sphinx? Worst case scenario, and this would be way bad, they have a Deputy of Detention in their deck. Eating double Sphinx would be, oh, so gross. Again, I'm going to take the hit for 2 if they attack. It's just I can afford to take the damage. This is a little more interesting if they attack with the Spirit. Spirit I might block. But again, because they attacked last turn with the Messenger, that's the reason I left the Duelist on top of our library. Because I think we're going to be able to get them pretty good. Whether it be Bladebrand, Zeal, or whatever. Okay, Guild Mage, that's a good one. Get our double scry action on. Shimmer's good to keep because I imagine I'm going to be using the Duelist this turn. So let's attack for 8 in the air. See what they do. Mortify one, maybe? Well, that ain't Mortify. It's possible they don't have anything. Okay. Bladebrand? Oh no, this is just Final Judgment again. Or Final Payment or whatever. Yep. As expected. In fact, I don't need to do that anymore. I can just run out the Griffin then. And let's keep the Guild Mage on top. Not actually entirely too comfortable with our position. Guild Mage is going to do a lot of work for them. Uh-oh, and they're tapping a lot of mana very quickly. Ah, that's fine. Looks like they're just holding up the gain 2 life. Alright, leave the Guild Mage on top that we know about. Let's go to attack here with both. We're going to get to eat their Syndicate Messenger with the Fairy Duelist when they block my Griffin. Gain 2 in response, you got it. Alright, they do get a 1/1 though. And let's develop out our Guild Mage. Arrester's Admonition, okay. And attack for 2. What? Offering the trade for Guild Mages. I think I'm gonna... Why are they attacking with all of these? I don't think there's a mass pump for 3 mana. There's a rally for 4, but I think I'm gonna make this block. Wow, what on earth? That can't have been correct for them. Especially trading off their Guild Mage, I think, was probably very, very bad. 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay. Let's just continue the aerial beatdown. Play out our Sphinx again. I mean, you have to think, even if they topped a card like Mortify, that's not even that bad. They kill the Sphinx, and I still have them on a 3-turn air clock. I'm trying to think of the worst possible scenario here. Like island in the mass manipulation or something. Oh, it looks like they were trying to level up their Terramander, but they are 1 mana short this turn. They didn't attack with their Knight Arbiter either. Alright, we're going to bottom the Judgment. Hope to hit a land here. Great. Preferred untapped, but it's still fine. Let's Shimmer. Oh yeah, and let's get the... Actually, no, let's take the Depose, Deploy. Right, this requires 8. They have 5, 6, 7. So we can attack with all 3 here. They're not dead on board to this. It's not a lethal attack. Oh, do they have another bounce spell? I'm so confused at what's going on. Another final payment? Oh, Undercity's Embrace. That's fine. Okay, you can eat my 1/2. Go to 2. And then we have 2 lethal flyers in the air next turn. I'm going to tap down their Pteramander as well. You can attack if you want. Okay, just passing, so let's tap their Pteramander end of turn. Mortify my Sphinx in response. That's fine. They have 1 card left in their hand. All right. Attack for 3. Do you have something? And they do not. All right, 1-0. As the prophecy foretold, our deck is very good. Let's go to round 2. Round 2 of this Ravnica Allegiance draft on the draw. And another snap keep. Sphinx is in our opening hand, as well as enough mana to cast it, and a 2-drop, so looking spiffy. Let's bottom the island, and I like topping here. Versus Rakdos especially, I think the dog and the fairy are going to do some great work. Rakdos no plays. That's even better. All right, let's play the Guildgate, attack for 2. I might consider not running out the Sphinx until turn 5. As they play a Spike Wheel Acrobat. Okay. Yeah, let's flash in the Duelist just to get some extra beats in. And yeah, well, let's just play the Benthic Biomancer. Let's play the land. Attack with both. We're going to play the Sphinx when we can also hold up the Watchdog. It's just way too safe. Or rather, way too risky. Rather would play it safe, I should say. Easy block. Let's go for the level. Discard the gate. Trade is good. Blade Juggler full cast, that is fine. And let's just jam the Sphinx now. And I'm not going to trade with the Impassioned and the Blade Juggler at this point. We can just hold it back. Spear Spewer, absolutely. Noxious Grudian, you got it. And this should be a pretty easy game from here on out. We'll bottom the Shimmer. Attack for 5 in the air. And then playing out Senate Griffin does represent lethal next turn, with us at 24 and a way to give our creature indestructible. Gonna be pretty hard to lose from this point. Rakdos could be interesting. Rakdos and then wipe my board, but I think that's about the only card that I can see doing anything at this point. And I think I'd rather trade with the Death Touch here. Again, no reason to use the dog. We have lethal in the air. Okay. No plays. They could have the exile effect. Let's top another Sphinx. They could have Consign, or not Consign, what's it called? Grotesque Demise would work. But it looks like that is a no-go from the OP. And we are just going to bring in another 2-drop. Let's bring in the Sage's Row Savant number 2 as a blocker. I'm actually going to take out the Skatewing Spy. I could also consider bringing in the Code of Constraint, which might be a little bit better than, say, the Counterspell versus Rakdos. But honestly, our deck looks pretty well suited against them. We have a lot of cheap creatures and interaction. Look at all these 1-drop creature, 2-drop creatures, and then 2 Summary Judgments. So this might even be overboarding in a sense, but I don't think we need the Spy in this deck versus them. So yeah, let's submit it like this. Oh, you know what? I should have brought in the Vizkopa Vampire instead of like the Code of Constraint. That was a mistake. Totally overlooked the Vampire. Double Sphinx in my opening hand, and that's a snap keep with 1 land. Reveal 2 Sphinx of Foresight at the beginning of a game. That's funny. I was hoping that was going to happen at least once today. Oh, that's unfortunate. So let's bottom the Skitter Eel. I think I can afford to bottom one island, top one island, and then let's get a new scry. And we can bottom one island, top. Great. I don't think I need to keep the fourth since we already have the Sage's Row Savant next turn. Yeah, Benthic will be good next turn. So let's go top. Going to trade here if they offer. I think I trade here too as well. But honestly, you just want to preserve life. And even though they still get the spectacle here, I think that's okay. Yep. No surprise there. So there's a Plains on top of our library, but we have a Swirling Torrent that is just a juicy target to discard. Alright, go for the level up. Discard Torrent. And they have a Scavenger. Oh, I hope they sacrifice the Maka. Ooh! Hello, Law Mage's Binding. Double top. Eek. We just want to preserve life total here, so let's pass. Excuse me. Let's go for a little binding. Another Blade Juggler full cast, that's good. And let's start running out the Sphinx. They're probably going to have at least one removal spell, be it Get the Point or whatever. Oh, or maybe not, as we see a Blade Juggler plus a land. Land is good. Let's keep a land. And we can turn on the gas. Because we have Deploy in our hand, I'm not too worried about trying to race them. Also, we just have two other removal spells. Code plus Summary Judgment, so... NBD here. Okay, they are going to give it haste. I assume we swing with everything. 3, 6, 7, 8. So I'm actually not going to block here. I'll take the full hit for 8. I don't want to run into a Blade Brand. 8 life is still plenty of life when I still have a good turn here. We're just looking for a land, so we're going to bottom the Duelist, bottom the Courier, drew the land, perfect. And now we get to bash for 8 in the air, put them dead next turn. We can gain 4, get 2 blockers, as well as Judgment one of their attackers. Who knew that 2 4/4 flyers for 4 mana would be good? Especially ones that scry 3, and then scry 3, and then when they're on the battlefield, continuously scry 1. Who would have known that would be good? Wow, they ditched to get the point. Okay. I guess they know they need something else. They just concede. We were still going to be fine here. Like we could chump, block, and then Judgment. And what I probably would do, since they discarded a removal spell, is just block with 1 and Judgment 1, take 5, go to 7. That way I don't die to like an Electro Dominance. And even if they do have a kill spell on the Sphinx, I still get to hit them for 5. So 2-0, 4-0 with an absurd Azorius deck. Let's go to the third round. All right. Round 3 of this draft. Let's be on the play. What? How unlucky. No Sphinx in my opening hand? Instead, we'll just have to have a very, very good hand. I mean, I guess I can accept, but... what's it like to not have one of your bombs in your hand? I don't know. I guess this card's kind of a bomb. All right. Land, Guild Mage. This is looking like a very good curve out. As they play a Soroform hybrid. How do we want to play this? Because we definitely want to loot for a land, so I think we're just going to pass here. See if they attack into me and I can Fairy Duelist them down. Play the Duelist first. Now, I do get a little bit wrecked if they have a... Okay. I was going to say I do get a little bit wrecked if they have a Gift of Growth, but... yeah. Let's just go to game 2. After our devastating gameplay in game 1, we're on the draw here, and 1 lander, but no Sphinx, so I am going to actually have to mulligan this. And this is fine. We get a Scry, and we have Shimmer on turn 2, regardless of if we draw a land or not. So, all right, leading with a mountain means our opponent's playing at least 3 colors. Teamer, they might be the Gates deck, but Teamer also just a very good color combination. As they lead with a Gravelhide Goblin. Ooh. Now I might change plans. I might actually lead with Guildmage now. And this is a little bit awkward because I don't have the mana to hold up protection, but I think it's okay because we want to save the protection for our Sphinx anyways. So let's start off with a Shimmer. Take the Binding here, play the land and pass. We're going to take 3 damage this turn from the runner, but that's okay. It's not a huge deal. Ooh, a Rhythm of the Wild. Alright, that's a good one. Well, I don't have any counters in my deck anyways. In fact, I'm almost considering blocking here. Like this. And the reason I would do this is because I just want to trade 1 for 1 when we have so much card advantage. But then I second guess myself and say that would be stupid. Kenji, what the heck? Senate Guildmage is way too good. Let's just loot. Get rid of... I think honestly I might get rid of Skatewing here. I can keep the land. And let's just pass again. They didn't have a 4th land last turn, so... Ooh, Incubation Druid with Rhythm of the Wild. That's going to ramp them up. Okay, we found ourselves a nice Law Mage's Binding target. Just pass here. Yeah, they're going to play around the Fairy. Discard land now. Binding the Incubation Druid end of turn. And I guess let's get the Night Mage online, or Night Arbiter online, as it just blocks everything anyways. Okay, Burning Tree Vandal, probably a 4/3. Where are my Sphinxes? Sphingies. Attack for 2 here, unblockable. And then let's... I think I'm going to loot first to see if I hit a Sphinx. And if not, then I will... Precognitive. Bottom the island. I don't think the 2/2 is good enough to keep here. We can keep the Griffin though. Alright, and we got some good hits. So next turn I'm going to be able to Sphinx, hold up Judgment, and hold up Watchdog. Okay, Frenzied Arinx from the opponent now. That's going to be a 5/5. Oh, they didn't make it a 5/5. Interesting. Discards a Clan Guildmage. Okay, so I guess we're trading our dog for their 4/3. That seems worth it. I'll take 7 and go to 10. Then we can Judgment the Arinx. Play out our Sphinx. Attack for 2, unblockable. And I'm going to hold up the loot because I don't think I need to gain the life quite yet. But now this is the territory where we start seeing some fat creatures, yeah. Okay. loot here and see what we draw first. Debating double blocking and losing my Sphinx. I have 2 cards left in that hand, but they're all spells. Okay. I'm fine with this. Not ideal, but I'm fine with this. Let's attack for 2 again. And then we'll play Courier plus Bird. I think we bottom the Savant. Expect to see like a Rendhorn or another Recluse here from them. Just a Gore Clan Wrecker. Alright, that's not that bad. And they make it a 4/4, so they're probably just passing the turn. Skyguard, yeah, nice hit. 3, 4, 5, 6. If I hit them to 6, they go to 8, and then I have lethal next turn. If I hit them to 5, they go to 9, then I have 3, 6, 7. I still have lethal next turn. Alright, perfect. So let's play it safe. Let's attack for 6. Or sorry, 5. Put them to 9. Play the Skyguard. Hold up, gain 2, and then I have lethal in the air / unblockable next turn. So they need a removal spell here, or like a spider. Does that kill me? 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I gain 1 life. Oh my gosh. The Skyguard and the 2 life saves me. I go to 1. Holy moly. I can't block. But I go to 1 and win. Oh my god. What a game. It's just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, whatever. We can just attack with everything. Woo! Thank you, Guild Mage. Thank you, Skyguard. Thank you, 3060, with truly one of the best Azorius decks I've ever drafted. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It was certainly fun to play, fun to draft, and yeah, enjoy this, and go watch all of my other content here on the Magic MTGO Traders channel. Thanks for watching.